The purpose of this assignment is to work a little bit more with strings. Specifically, you will be using substring and length, actually quite a bit in this assignment. And I'm giving you the starting code for it. And I guess the other purpose of this assignment is to write a few functions, now that you know a little bit more about how functions work. So again, I'm giving you this to start. I've created 4 buttons, right? On click, each button runs a separate function. And I'm even going to show you this first function called swap ends. Hey, you just have 3 functions left to write. So I've run my code already, but I'll rerun it. And it asks me to enter a word. The default is apples. Fair enough. And now let's take a look at what these buttons do. So again, I gave you the function swap ends. And if I click swap ends, yeah, no big surprise. You can see that it swaps the ends, the last and first letter of my word. So in other words, A was in front. Now it's at the end. There it is at the end. S was at the end. Hey, now it's at the front. And you can, of course, see how this works, right? Substring, I made a variable called len, which I defined as the length of the word. And then I set the word to the last letter, word.substring len -1. That actually gets the last letter. And I'm concatenating it, I'm plussing it with the word from letter 1 to the second to last letter. So in other words, this gets all the letters except the first and last, and then I'm concatenating that with the first letter. And then of course, I'm just displaying it with my document.getElement by ID. You've seen this many, many times. And actually, I can keep running this. If I run swap ends again, yeah, it puts them back in place. Apples. Yeah, awesome, huh? Yeah. One other thing that I want to point out is the variable word is not declared inside the function. The variable word is declared outside of the function. That means it's a global variable. If I declared word inside the function, it would only be known within the function. Now in Snap, we used to call those script variables as opposed to a global variable. Word is a global variable. All the functions know about word. All right, let's see what the other buttons are supposed to do. So let's see. So there's my word apples. Now if I click shift right, what do you think is going to happen? Yeah, apples got shifted to the right. See how that A got moved over one and the S went from the end to the beginning? I'll run it again. See, I'm shifting it right. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Okay, I'll do shift left. Big guess here. Yeah, it's shifting my word to the left. Look how the A is moving to the left. Yeah, so to shift to the left, of course, I'll do it one more time. You can see the first letter goes to the end and everybody move to the right. Shift left, see how that's working? And then finally, swap halves. Well, swap halves will just swap. In this case, it splits the word in 2, so APP and LES, and it swaps the 2 halves of the word. I'll swap them. Yeah. See, swap the first and second half. There I go, and I can swap them back. See how that works? Now, swap halves, that's a tricky one. That's going to work slightly differently if my word is of odd length. Like if I say pizza, oops, I got to spell it correctly. Pizza has 5 letters in it, P-I-Z-Z-A, yeah. It's odd length as opposed to apples. And if I swap halves, now I say this in the description of the project, but if I swap halves, I want you to keep the middle letter where it is. It shouldn't get swapped. So when I swap halves again, it just moved the first 2 and the last 2. Now, of course, if it was a 11-letter word, it would just swap the first 5 and the last 5 and keep the middle one where it was, where it is. The point is, if the word is of odd length, the middle letter stays where it is while the other 2 ends swap. This is a little bit tricky because you're going to have to decide, like, hey, is my word of odd length or even length? Well, you should be able to figure that out. You know how to get the remainder, modulo division, and that'll tell you if your word is odd or even, right? If 2 goes into it evenly, I guess it's even. All right, that should be enough to get you started. You're going to have to complete 3 other functions right here. Again, I'm giving you the starter code, so get to work, and thanks so much for watching.